Good morning, traders. Are you guys ready to get 2023 started? Right here, live trading on Benzinga. Let's get into the action. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get it started.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Good morning, traders. Let's get into the action. Sorry to keep you guys waiting for a second there. Let's bring on, it looks like the Phoenix Trading.
Yeah, I mean, you have. By the way, I saw your book club thing. I definitely want to join that. But for me, having a separate Twitter account for stocks that I want to put out, like my esports friends don't really give a shit. You know what I mean?
They don't?
No, dude, they don't want to lose money with me. You know what I mean? Which I don't blame them.
Man.
Which I don't blame them. So yeah, I created another account for New Year's, and I was like, you know what? It's funny, even though I'm like a broadcaster and I do this thing online or whatever, it's still a little tough to put yourself out there because Twitter can be mean. I don't know. So the game plan is to kind of put out, I'm going to possibly write a thread about how much I made last year and different things like that with screenshots. And, it's also honestly to keep myself accountable so I can like wake up early and actually look at stocks and what I want to do, levels, and not just kind of, dilly-dally into the market, if you will. So, yeah. Fun little New Year's resolution, one of them, I guess.
Yeah, man.
We'll see how long it goes.
You gotta, you gotta get big, right? Gotta get you out there, right? One thing is, I know what you feel like trying to have two separate accounts because I did sports for a little bit and I was like, I don't even know if sports is gonna be something that they want to take a look at.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just how it goes. And one thing I was laughing about is that I even caught my Money Mitch account on Instagram. Be careful out there, teams. There's
how you know you've made
it out there.
That's how you know you've made it. Dude, when someone's trying to copy you.
They even like stole like my picture to like the Lumineers. Like,
that's crazy.
That's insane out there, team. Be careful out there. I'm gonna have to get my verification check. On Twitter, bro. We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to get big this year. But guess what? We're gonna get big with you guys out there right now. Let's get into the trading action. Let's talk about what we're gonna be doing this year. And first of all, before we get too much into the stocks, anything that you feel will be trading in your strategy, changing in your strategy in 23?
I think, and I'll write about this in my little thread or whatever. I think sometimes when we're live, I can't speak for you, I can speak for myself. When we're live, right, I feel like I need to put on a trade because people are watching and we need to give them a trade and this, that, and the other. So like, obviously I'll take the trade myself, right? But like, it won't be an A+ setup because like, hey, the A+ setup sometimes can come at 10:30 or at 11 o'clock or at 1 o'clock. Unfortunately, we're not live at that point, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely something I want to change, is just kind of like give more levels and not force trades. And I also, went ahead and renewed my annual subscription with Trading Journal. So just kind of making sure that, hey, following that process and that momentum, I'm hoping to continue. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but that's my game plan for the year. Happy New Year to everybody, by the way. Richard, everybody else in the chat, Happy New Year to all of you.
Definitely. We'll get into the trading action. Let's go ahead and I'll take a look at some of the stocks that I'm looking at. Then we'll pull up Zunaid and we'll get you guys over to the open. Like always, you guys in the chat, talk about what you guys are changing up in 23. What do you want to learn more of? What do you want to get better on? What was the worst thing that you did in 22, right? Things like that are going to make you have an improvement into your 23 and keeping focus, right? What's important to you? A lot of the times I feel like we focus on making money, right? That's just the focus because, that's what we're here for. But really, what we need to be focused on, and then what we stress always on this channel, is process, process, process. Because once you build a process, you can rely on a system. That's what we're trying to teach, team. Is that at the end of the day, if you're just doing random trades here and there, yes, you could fall on some good luck, and next thing you'll make a good profit. But if you want to make continuous profits, be consistent in the markets, we definitely recommend getting into a processed approach because that's definitely going to help you in the long run be able to balance out throughout the years. There's always waves to the game of trading, and I hope that you guys are able to ride an up wave to start the year. Let's get towards the market. You guys see T-Mobile here. Some people are watching that today, so just keep it on watch. For me, big levels on the SPY is right above 387. I think we could even get into 385 today. Quickly reject that, coming right back down. Where I'm leaning a little bit more is actually to the bear side. A lot of that because of the action that we got already in the after hours. You guys can see big run into 3 p.m. power hour rally. Been talking about this so much, the power hour rally. That's what I'll be kind of more looking for today, even. A washout of all the retailers that are coming in this morning like, yeah, January effect, I want to kill it. Well, wash their mentality out and then pick it up towards the end of the day as big traders come back after lunch. That's what I'll be looking for, maybe at 12 o'clock past that rally. And I think that what Zunaid talking about is very important there. If we're starting to see patterns that are sometimes not necessarily at the open, that doesn't necessarily mean that you always have to trade, and especially all your kind of mental capital in the opening action, right?
Yeah.
Keep some of that mental capital, not push too hard some days if you're not seeing it, and look for the better setup. Like Zunaid said, look for that A+ setup. And if it's later in the day, it's later in the day. That doesn't matter. The big thing here is that we're working on our process. And at the end of the day, we always remind you guys, we're not here to, kind of show off like what Zunaid's making, what I'm making, show you guys the Lamborghini in the garage. Don't worry. I just locked it, right? But, one of the things that we want to do is teach you guys that it's not about that always. And sometimes trading can just be a little bit of what I call supplemental income, something a little extra to push you forward in life. And that's what I think Zunaid and I look at it right now. We're not relying 100% on our trading. So keep working on your skills, team. Keep getting better. Wish you guys a good 23. That's all I'll take from you guys right now. Big thing for me, watch technology. What's going to happen with Apple and Tesla? Those are my two stocks to watch today. If those two stocks go into the red, I'll know that, hey, be careful out there. If one of those are conflicting, I'm going to be looking for Tesla to lead kind of growth, Apple to lead more tech names. So if I see Apple ripping, I'd be looking at more like an NVIDIA. But if I see Tesla ripping, I can maybe look for more like growth stocks, like a Firm or a Unity or a Snow. So those are just the ways that I'm looking at towards the bell. I'll kick it to you, my friend. You can go ahead and share your charts. And let's see what you're looking at. I'm sure you got some levels for us ready to go.
Appreciate that. So in terms of you gave me so much time to share my chart. That's exactly how we're going to start off the year. Where is my...
Did they change up how they did it? Yeah, they changed it up a little bit. So you'll see Windows at first. Top right, yeah. Top right, you got to...
I was like, I know I'm not weird here. I know I'm not drunk this morning. Okay. All right.
Anyway. And for the Benzinga Pro giveaway clause, I did talk about that. So I'm sending it up today, and you'll be hearing about it tomorrow. It's going to be for about a week that we'll be pushing that. So don't worry. There'll be an opportunity for you guys to win Benzinga Pro. Stick around, team. We'll also show you guys that. All right, let's go ahead. We'll bring on Zunaid. What do you got for us, my friend?
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY. So going back to the 21st of December, you can see about 387 was a level where it kind of rejected. So that's what I've got in terms of how high it can go before we can possibly face a little bit of resistance on that side of town. Now, you've got already 385 that's been met here on the markets. I think, to me, trying to trade it more so around this 384 could be a better area for a bit of a bounce. But for me, not really feeling it, not really seeing levels that I absolutely like and love, especially because I think I also see 383. I think I prefer 383 over 384, to be honest, for a bounce play on the SPY. So that's what I've got, though. And again, nothing too clean, nothing too much that I love on that one. But Tesla, man, this has been fun to short the month of December, if you will, especially with Elon selling and this, that, and the other. You can see kind of like where support was, but obviously we're above that at this point. I think if we can go ahead and crack 120, you can go ahead and revisit possibly 122s and then upwards. 124.48 clearly seems to be resistance in terms of short term, but I personally would want to wait till about the 115 area to go ahead and play Tesla for a bounce. Or if it cracks 115, then I can go ahead and try to make it to the downside on Tesla. Is about that 115 area. And then if it wants to pop up around 120 or so, maybe I can take a look at it. Of course, flow is going to matter. I got a little bit away from flow trading, but I want to get back in that to try to focus on it and see where the big money's at. But NEO is one that I already kind of have a trade ready to go for, and that's going to be around the 10.01. So $10.01. I'm looking to buy 300 shares. Stop loss is going to be 9.85. Take profit is going to be 10.17. So that's a 1-to-1 trade. Risking about $48 to win $48. The main thing for me today is to start green. I don't give a dog's whatever. I don't care if it's by $1 or $1,000. I just want to start green. I want to have those consistent base hits, because I think what I started to do, and again, you'll see this in the thread that I hope to write later today on my Twitter account, is that like I was making solid money, and then I got a little bit too into my head and wanted to continue hitting home runs, and then instead I got struck out, and then it just kind of compounded, if you will. But so the goal is to kind of slowly build back up and have that avalanche and a domino effect. But that's what I've got on NEO. Let's go ahead and take a look at Microsoft here. Nope, that's not Microsoft. Where's Microsoft? There's Microsoft. Taking a look at Microsoft for me, the 240 level is going to be key right here. So you can see how many times. Actually, let's go ahead and do this. So here it is, 240 level. Let's go ahead and draw it out. Ba-bang. You can see resistance, right? Came down. Resistance again. Came down. Finally popped above. And what do you know? What do we wait for? Retest. So there's a retest of it. And then I went ahead and gave you a $2 move. Same thing on, let's say, I believe this was Friday, yeah, because we had a half day. Or whatever. You had a pop up above 240 is where it stopped, and now we're here. So what I want to wait for is the 240. So we can get, let's go ahead and risk about, let's say 50. We'll do the same thing. Just try to see if we can get 50s everywhere. But yeah, I'm looking to play Microsoft for a bit of a bounce at 240.12. Stop loss is going to be about 239.62. Take profit will be about 240.62. And so that's the play that I've got on Microsoft right there. This dude trades blind. I trade blind. Is that me? I don't know what. I don't know. Oh, I just walked into that one, I think. Anyway, let's see what else we've got on our list. Apple's definitely one that's gonna want to keep an eye on in terms of the market and different things like that. Don't really have a level that I absolutely love on Apple, so I'm gonna kind of leave it alone. Even options flow. So when it comes to options flow, right, you will almost always see flow coming into your Tesla, your Apples, NVIDIA sometimes a little bit more often than not now. So like it's a little confusing on what to follow sometimes, because you may get a call option and everything is going up. The IV's going up, the spot's going up, the options price is going up. But then 5-10 minutes later, we get something that's like a complete reversal of what it would have been. So it doesn't help in any case whatsoever. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. NVIDIA is one that we love to trade. AMD is one that we love to trade. You can see $62 is going to be an area of support that I see coming in. If we get there or not, I have no clue whatsoever, but we'll keep an eye on it. Someone mentioned CrowdStrike. I haven't taken a look at this one in a minute, but my, oh my, let's see what we get. $100 wasn't as clean as I would have liked. That's just the first thing I noticed right off the bat. I'm not sure why it's up. I need to check the news. And yes, Hex Pony, I didn't even realize I did that till you just mentioned it. Thank you for that. I'm off to a great start for this trading year. I'm not quite sure what I really like on CrowdStrike. I think the 108 pop could be great, because you can see right here, you had a little bit of traffic, right? So you had support. It kind of bled below, but I would say an area, right? Because support and resistance isn't necessarily just one particular price, but you can see you had a little bit of support, then it finally cracked through, and then you come right back down, and there's just so much congestion here that I would say a 108 pop could possibly go ahead and get you to the 110s. But again, this year I'm not looking to force things, and to me, I don't have a clean level that I absolutely love on that one. Possibly you can take a look at the 105s if it wants to get to that area, but again, not clean, not something that I'm the biggest fan of. Taking a look at Google, a crack above this, which is almost so close, above this 89.51s could get you to 90s for a quick 50 cents if you can get it. And then above that, you can maybe get 91s and 92s. But you can see, looking back here on the 23rd, I believe, of Friday of December, you can see it was resistance, 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 resistance. Finally, it just went ahead and bled all the way down. And then coming right back up right now is to that level. I may not play this, though, simply because there's not enough meat on the bone of this 50 cents one. And, you know, something else that I want to kind of plan and be mechanical about is taking enough size to where I can go ahead and have 3 legs of profit. So like, so, you know, for example, ideally what I'd like to do, start doing later this week and whatnot, is like, if I have 300 shares, my stop loss would still be right here, but I would go ahead and sell 100 here, move my stop loss to break even. Then my second one would be a 2-to-1. If I 2-to-1 hits, I move my stop loss to first take profit, so on and so forth. So unfortunately here, unless someone knows how to do it on TradingView, I would love to know. I don't know how to put on multiple legs here on TradingView. I know I could do it on TradeStation and it reflects on TradingView. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. But if anyone knows how to do it on TradingView, please send me a DM. Would love to learn something new. And then let's go ahead and take a look at Amazon here. Amazon, if we can go ahead and crack this 86 level, we can get some upside to the 87s or so. And let's go ahead and take a look at the Qs. We're right at this resistance level. Looks like we're going to break it. ATNF is something that just popped up in my scanners. And yep, look at that. You've got a little bit of movement. $4. If it pops up above 4, you can wait for the retest of 4 and then maybe go ahead and test 450s and 5. So matter of fact, I'm going to actually see if we can just start with a little small size on this one. Let's go ahead and say it, and then just have our stop losses there. If it wants to crack 402, is it going to do it if we crack it, or is it going to, I don't know. Hang on one sec. I got to redo this order type because I know as soon as the market opens, it's going to go ahead and there we go. Stop limit. That's what I wanted to do. But yeah, that's what I've pretty much got on ATNF. I'm going to put that one here. Since Ryan's not here, figured we'd have a little bit of fun with some small caps. But if you got anything, my man, feel free. If not, I can continue going over some stuff.
No stress. Just getting my shared screens ready.
Sure, no worries. I'll continue with it. Yeah, you can see if you're just joining us, which, by the way, welcome, Happy New Year. But if you've been here for a minute, you know that we preach about VWAP, which we haven't quite gotten over, and you'll see that I don't have it on my screen. I sometimes got a little too reliant on VWAP, and that kind of was a confirmation bias that I was always looking for, if you will. I'll still use it, but not as often as I maybe did, or at least get training wheels back into it. But what I was trying to say was support and resistance is what we talk about a lot, right? So you can see you've got resistance at $4. You've got resistance at $4. You want this to crack, and you want 4 to be tested and held. And then you can get confirmation that, hey, yeah, this now has more odds of moving higher than previously. And that's what we kind of want to play around with. So we've got about 4 minutes till the market opens. Let's see how things play out. What you got, Mitch?
All right, going to be looking at some different stocks here towards the open. We can kind of catch up what's going on out there. I'll put my screen big here. Now, for me, PLL is going to be on watch, of course. They released amendment agreement with Tesla. So this is one to keep on watch. It's a lithium name. Could have lithium names moving higher. Of course, Tesla shares are moving down in the pre-market because of missed deliveries. Tesla is going to be definitely fun to kind of keep an eye on today. I actually expect to see a little bit of a wipeout, but we'll watch what happens there. Solar stocks looking for some shorts there. FSLR stands out to me. Of course, this has been already up on the day. It's pushing here towards the high. Could maybe look for a 152 kind of bull trap turnaround right back down. We'll take a look what happens there in those solar stocks. Then Block getting an upgrade, PayPal getting an upgrade. So keep your eyes on those stocks. We covered them on pre-market prep. PayPal is interesting here if you're looking for growth type of plays. But my only problem here is that look what's happened really since about, like, let's say 6 a.m. this morning or 4 a.m. this morning. It's already ran. And so a little part of me feels like we could have some pullbacks right out the open and then maybe get a little bit of a lift. But I'm not expecting too much just out the opening bell. And I'm not going to try to react too much. One thing I've done in the past for the January effect is exactly that. Reacting too quickly, too fast, trying to get the January effect. And instead, I'll be a little bit patient here because I expect maybe a little bit of rallies right before the bell. And then all of a sudden, some big pullbacks towards the open. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Oil names also on watch. Of course, you guys can keep watch some oil names. We'll see what happens there. XOM, names like that. Chevron, what's going to happen with these stocks? Are these going to start turning around? Keep these on watch. Duke seems like a stock that potentially to short. Why do I like this short? Is that because it seems like there was a lot of problems in the Carolinas. About 500,000 people didn't have power. Now it's all on Duke. They're having issues with their grid. Not what you want to be hearing, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know about you, Zunaid, but when I pay for electricity, I expect it to, when I turn on the light, it turned on the light, right? Not that they just tell me, oh no, you're having a power outage from 7 a.m. on New Year's Eve till about let's say 12 in the afternoon.
That's
what would you say
insane.
about that?
That is insane. That's what you dealt with, or
no? Some people did though.
Oh,
and I don't know about you, but I would definitely have been upset, especially if I'm paying my power bill. It's not like I didn't pay. Well,
that's insane.
They definitely went through a rough time there. So a little part of me feels like this sets up for a nice short. There's going to be some revenge action I'll be looking for in Duke. We'll see what happens. It's already run a significant amount since October. So that's another reason why I think it could turn around. It's already been kind of a big move up. We'll see if that flushes through the 100 on the downside today. All right. That's in utilities. So I'll expect utilities to turn around. Healthcare, I'm looking for some pullbacks to stay strong. For me today, it's going to be kind of more that I feel like everyone's leaning towards the bull side. So that's why I feel like we could get a kind of a little bit of a bearish open, but then see that quickly turn around by the end of the day. That's what I'll be looking for.
All right. We've got less than a minute to go.
Let's get towards the action, team. Of course, we'll try to do our best to kind of keep as many charts and stocks for you guys as possible. We have, multiple screens that we can go to. So I'll try to also go to this one that has an intraday scanner for us. Right now, it's not picking up anything, of course, because the market's not open. But as soon as it starts to open, I'll try to keep in mind some stocks there that we can keep watch.
Taking a look at Google here, you can see that the 89.50s held in the first seconds of the market. And then, of course, in pre-market, it went ahead and tapped that $90 level, got the retest, and now it's making its move. Again, just too quick. Not something I was going to try to play right off the bat. So not going to get a chance to play that one. Now, if it goes ahead and cracks 90, though, let me go back to it. If it cracks 90, then we get a retest. Oh, yeah, I'm interested. Sure. But for now, I'm not going to chase that one. Neo's another one where I have an order ready to go, but that's at 10:01. I'm not going to chase it here at 10:23s. If it goes without me, hey, bye-bye, see ya. You do have a little bit of resistance here at 10:26, and that's exactly maybe a penny or two off of where it got that rejection. So currently trading at 10:14. Again, not going to chase it. If I get filled at 10:01, great. If I don't, no problem. I have a door now. What? Yeah.
Cheap names, team. Cheap names to move today. AUPH, looking at it right now. That one looks interesting for breakthrough 6. AUPH is a known biotech to run before. SRNE is another one. Box D. I'm just throwing in here names that are up significant right now to start. Mullen, Rover. Rover getting a little bit of a nice little push through 4. We'll see if that can continue making moves. Right out the gates, what did I get from Apple? Down move. Tesla. Down move, kind of what I expected out the gates here. Maybe catching some bulls out the gates. Look at the SPY straight down. I'm going to look for that nice, kind of at least the first 15 minutes. Let's see what happens here. 945 reversal. Will we get one of those? We'll keep watch. Right now, Win, very strong stock, pulling back strong. China names have been strong this morning. We'll see if those can continue. Li Auto. We'll see if that comes back up through the 2190s. And for that being mentioned, let's go back to Tesla, back down to 116.07. Some people were thinking about 115 for pullback areas. We'll see if that holds now. PLL pulling back out the gates. Nothing green on that right now. Let's take a look at what is in the green. Technology into the green here. Going to take a look to see if what names are into the green there, leading towards the upside action. Looks like Microsoft, Google in the green, TSM, and NVIDIA.
You've got
not much.
You've got ATNF. I mean, going back to this one here. Oh man, this one's making a move. So here's what happened, right? We tried to get filled at 402s. Unfortunately, we did not on this up move. Then we tried to stay patient and get filled at 402s and went down to 406s and never filled us whatsoever. And then look at that nice little, what is that? A 50-cent move that it made without us. Unfortunate, our reading was correct. We did not go ahead and get filled, so we did not make money on this trade. But At least we know that, hey, our theory was rested. Wow, there it goes, baby. 462s to the upside. Not sure what the halt on this one will be, if any, but currently trading at 462s. We missed this one. We missed this train. It's okay. It's fine. For now, I am going to go ahead and leave my orders out there to be filled at 4. Someone said CLF is taking off. If we're not taking off, we are taking off. You know, sometimes people say they're taking off and we're not taking off, but we are. Nice little candle there on the 15-minute. Obviously, just 3 minutes into the market, but you can expect resistance right here on 1665. If it goes ahead and beats this one, you can see 17s coming in as well. But you've got a bit of a gap that it may try to close before it comes right back up. So keep an eye on that.
AUPH looking like it wants to get through the 6. I'm going to look for a pullback here to 570s, risk off of the 550s. That would be AUPH. We'll see if I get that one. That's a cheaper name. We'll see if I go for it.
Mullen, I don't really see anything that I like in Mullen. Maybe the 28-cent area, but besides that,
Who dat?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've got nothing for you here. Let's see what else we've got playing around here. All right, so here's Tesla at 116s. If we go ahead and crack the 150, I expect a little bit of basing, but if we go ahead and crack the 115s, I would love to go short on it, but not going to chase it here whatsoever on TSLA. Google, let's go ahead and check out Google. Oh, what a move. What a crack above 90s.
Nice little move there.
Yeah.
Microsoft also, and a little move up to resistance, pre-market resistance. NVIDIA tried to get back up towards the pre-market high, couldn't do it, rejected. So just be careful there on those tech names. Starting to see some rejection there in NVIDIA. AMD looked interesting above 6630s. We'll see if it reclaims that 6630.
I forgot to open up my Thinkorswim.
Lots going on, team. A lot of action.
270s looks to be incoming for Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm just logging into my other broker. There we go. Let's see. Let's kind of keep looking around. All right. So now we know that, hey, look, this 385 seems to be resistance. And then let's also take a look at PDD. PDD with a nice move to the upside. 90 could be resistance before it turns around, or at least for a little bit.
Yeah, specialty retail doing well today out the gates there. So you guys can look at names like that. Data doing well. PDD. Baba doing well. China names getting some lift.
What's up with my new Twitter handle? So my Twitter handle, the old one, is my esports one. And sometimes like people have the noties on because of esports news and this, that, the other. And then if I put out stock content, then we're like, what the hell is this? So it's more so just to have a separate Twitter account where I can talk about stocks and not dilute my esports stuff. That's all it is. All right. And you got Tesla cracking that 115 to the downside. Let's go ahead and check out what's happening with Meta. That's moving up nice and easy.
Battle right now, I feel like it.
Yeah, Tesla just continues the bleeding into 2023.
Yeah, I just feel like there's too many people that expect Tesla to come back. Expect it. Almost. Expectations are how you get really caught, I feel.
Yeah. This PSNE is a solid looking one. If it wants to come back and retest it, I believe at the moment it might be halted. I'm not quite sure. I don't have my Benzinga Pro up just yet. Let me switch over to my other tabs.
All right, let's get to it.
Nope, it's not halted. But yeah, if this what was this ticker again? PSNE. If this one goes ahead and comes back to test the 550s and holds, then you can go ahead and go along on this one. I personally would not want to chase, but nice little call out, Becca.
What I like
this
is
one
the
moving.
IWM move also. So remember, January effect plays into smaller cap names more than it does into larger cap names. So I would be paying attention to some of those small cap names. IWM with a nice little push up here. We'll look for a pullback to VWAP, but it's been strong on the morning. This is something that I'll keep watch for sure. All right, let's get towards the scanner. I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit here for you guys to be able to pick up some of this scanner action here. So you guys can see here, I've just done applied filters. You can do this on pro, regular, session. Price, I'm going to put it to a 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the last hour of action. Why? Because I want to see stocks that are moving on this. I am getting into a pullback in IWM, data pulling up there. I saw that one making a nice move. CLNE, that's another known runner before. That's a really cheap name if you're looking for those cheap boys. So that's looking good there. And then if I look around, anything else standing out to me? Rum I know has been in the news, and PLL. So keep your eyes on those two. We'll see if PLL can recover. And what about Rum? Rum taking a nice little move up. We'll see if these stocks can keep pushing. Coming back to you, my friend.
You've got a lot of stocks. I mean, you've got obviously the SPY looking at a crack. Actually, it has just now broken 385s. Looks to be making session highs here. You've got
Apple recovering.
You've got Meta to the upside here. You've got Google that's moving to the upside. No retest. And that's the reason I'm not in a lot of trades or in any trades. Matter of fact, I haven't taken a single one for 2023. It's just because I'm not seeing the retest. So on Google, if we go ahead and take a look at this one here, wanted to have a bit of a crack. But of course, I'm not going to play it off of the 1 minute. The 5 minute is like the most I would. Didn't quite get the retest that I wanted on the 90s. On Microsoft, I liked the 240s. Obviously, never got that one, so let's not waste any equity there. That one's gone. Neo didn't give us a $10 retest. They just went ahead and went without us. ATNF never got the retest of $4, went without us. So our thought process and our theories have been right in terms of direction. Unfortunately, our area to get filled have not been on point, and that's why we're where we are. But so for now, you've got this here. What I'm going to try to do, let me see if I want to go ahead and check a couple of things out. I'm going to start a position here on SPY. All right, I've got 50 shares of SPY. My stop loss is going to be below this candle here, so we're going to risk about $50, and we're going to look to see if we can get filled at 386.25s. All right.
FCX pushing there on the day there for the SPY. I'm going to take a look at what's leading the SPY right now. EQT leading the SPY. Nice little move there. FCX, KMX, so CarMax, and then Dish Network actually leading the SPY today. Keep a look at those moves. All right, taking a look there. What I'm trying to do right now is not take too many positions out the gates here. I could be going long into Apple going above the VWAP. Not going to leave that out of question there, but Tesla finally bottoming there at 114. We'll see if that 114 holds on the day. That's what I'd be looking at. If that wipes out, then I'd be careful, because then you could have that next takedown towards 108. Disney getting a little bit of a pop back on the day. That's not the worst stock to take a look at, up about 0.96 overall. We'll see what happens today. Not trying to jump into too many positions out the gate here, but like always, could be missing out. You guys make your own decision.
All right, I'm not going to go and let this one get away from me. I'm going to go and lock in the gains. First trade of the year is money on the SPY. We were patient. We waited a whole 10 minutes, chat. We waited a whole 10 minutes to take a trade. If you have been with us before, you know I like to go ahead and take them very early on and right at the bell. I like to trade this, that, the other. But here's the execution on the bottom. Again, this is real money. That's how much I have in this account here. Where is it? There it is. So we bought SPY. Where did we buy it? Where is it? Where's my buy? There it is. Bought it at 385.26. Went ahead and sold it at 386.13. We had a 1-to-1 trade. It got executed. Now, if I went ahead and got 100 shares, what I would have done is sold 50 where I did, moved my stop loss to break even, and then tried to take some more profit at around 386.88. But again, it's important for me to go ahead and be green on the first day, try to build that momentum, and then I can go ahead and scale up. I didn't even take this trade in E-Trade or trade or what do you call it? What's my broker here? Thinkorswim. just because I want to get a little bit of consistency before I throw money at it, because then it impacts my mental.
All right, going to look for one more rejection of First Solar and might have my first swing trade on the year. I'll let you guys know that's going to be probably if First Solar rejects the 152 here, then comes back through the VWAP. I'm going to look to try to get 151 50s or 151, somewhere in between there. Then the risk would be above 152, about a point, let's say a point, maybe 10 cents. Looking for that to come right back down towards the 148. So about a 3-to-1 outlook there. We'll see what happens in the swing for First Solar. Well, it needs to reject 152 though for the breakout. Just looking around, team, looking around to see what's moving out there.
If SPY wants to come back and test this level, I'd be okay with it one more time, just doing the same exact thing we did, right? So let's go ahead and risk $50 again. But if SPY wants to come back and test this 385.18s, sure, I'll go ahead and play game. We'll see if it wants to do that. RSLS second hot. Why do I know that? Oh, to the upside, huh? What's the news on RSLS? Let's see. Let me go ahead and check out my Benzinga Pro, and then we'll show you guys.
Missed a little pullback there to VWAP for AUPH. If you're looking at that one, it got above 6, pulled back to the VWAP, held pretty well there. Would like it to hold 575s. It's not a bad stock to look at. That's AUPH in the middle here. We'll see what happens. SPY to the left, First Solar to the right. We'll see what's going on.
I think they had a reverse split. Yeah, that's definitely what this was. Maybe not today, but like I know they had a reverse split. There it is, actually. All right, looks like my SPY did go ahead and get filled, so that's where the attention goes. So we are getting another retest. Let's go back and take a look at the 15. So here we go, chat. This is our second trade of the day, the same exact ticker, that's SPY. We got filled at 385.25s. Stop loss for us is going to be $50 to the downside. Let's see if we go ahead and, okay, all right. Well, look, if you want to take my money from the earlier trade, you could have just said that. I could have given it back to you. You just don't take it like that, like, gosh dang.
I have an order out there for First Solar. Just no fills, team. You guys can see it here. I've been trying to knock this down, trying to get into it. We'll see if I get a fill there. The big thing is the spread. I'll let you guys know.
Netflix is looking good. Give me a little bit more insight. Looking good where? Because I see a little bit of consolidation happening right around here, right? Obviously. We'll see which way it wants to break. It looks like the market itself is coming down.
Yeah, 945 numbers expected here. You get PMI. Let me just go ahead and pull these up here as they hit the tape. I'll let you guys know. I'm pulling it up there. So we got USA manufacturing PMI at 46.2 versus 46.2 estimate. Prior was 47.7. So seeing that is a weakening in the economy. Could be strong for the market, but it just came in expectations here. So we'll see what happens. Not getting the First Solar fill. It's going to be a little frustrating, but I'll wait for it, team. Either it hits me or it doesn't. I'm not going to chase it.
Someone asked, where'd it go? Are these guys real traders or are they just using simulation? Well, this is real trades happening right here. You can see my account number right there. Maybe I shouldn't be showing it, but whatever. It's there. How much I've got. And then for me, I also trade on Thinkorswim. Let me see if we can show that. We ain't got time for, you know what I mean?
I'm just trying to get a fill. Oh man, First Solar, come on, come back to me. Seeing the SPY turn around there at 945 is a little bit concerning. It could be a down move at 945. We'll look to see if it recovers the support and just holds 384s. Not cracking the 384s would be a good sign right now on the overall market. That's the left-hand side here. We'll see if that can hold there. AUP8s looked good here. We'll see if that holds 575 pullback. First Solar is one that I was trying to get in on. I had an order at the 151.40s. It was there for a second, literally a second, and it came right back down to 150.50s. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that for a second here. We'll look to see if it comes back. If it does come back, I can look for another rejection of 152. But looking to see the SPY now come heading down, at least for me. I'm a little bit of a bearish mood right now. Like always, you guys make your own assessment and decisions.
Something that we kind of missed out on or at least I did, is the 150 rejection on NVIDIA. I had it plotted. I had it ready to go, but unfortunately, I didn't have the trade set up. But you can see that 150 rejection. Now we're about $2 in the money if you would have taken that. Someone to my ATNF. Yeah, nice little move to the upside. Man, I can't believe we didn't get that fill at 4 that we wanted. But hopefully, if you guys did in the chat, congratulations. Make sure you scale out. Make sure you go ahead and take your profits, lock in, move your stop losses up as we continue to go. But who was the person who asked? NWP. Hopefully, you now understand that we don't do simulation trading here.
Yeah, success looking great here. You're starting to see tech break down. I was looking for it at the 38 break to the upside. It held that 38, now towards 39. Really getting a nice little push there. You should see NVIDIA cracking and AMD cracking to the downside. There you guys see it. Big reversal. Those could be a little bit of bull traps. Be careful. As I'm seeing the SPY come down fast, I'll look for Apple to take out lows. Boom. Take out the lows. Tesla, take out the lows. And watch out. The market could be going.
Excuse me. Yeah, market's really just bleeding now. We've got session lows. Would not be surprised if we go and try to test the previous close here momentarily.
I'm frustrated about my first solar. I had a really good time, just didn't get the entry. Don't want to chase. That's one thing I'm trying not to do this year. Even if I miss trades, you got to tell yourself sometimes miss is better than a loss, right? Let's just be honest, right? Miss is better than a loss. And a lot of times those losses that I've taken on a move like this is chasing. Usually, if you get that loss after chasing, you're usually frustrated. So we're going to try not to ruin our mental capital here, even though I wanted to swing short for solar there from around 150, 150, risk about 152. And it's looking great here. It's SPY coming down fast. We'll see what happens on those. Tesla looking like it wants to make a new low right here. We'll see if it cuts through. Boom, right there. Cutting through the low there. Now towards 113.67. SPY coming down fast. Apple coming down fast. That shows me turnaround out there, team. So be careful.
Let's see what we got.
Bull's going to get smacked, says BZB Trading. I feel like it. I feel like people were leaning bullish, but I can't blame them for it. That's just what is known with the January effect. I've traded multiple January effects. Usually, I feel like the first trading day isn't the best. The second's a little bit better just from my prior experience. I need to start writing these down and looking into it also. Seasonality, team, look into things like that. Look into statistical data on the first day of the year, second day of the year. Which one's better?
All right, we're waiting to buy SPY at around 282.51s. If we get fill there, great. If not, no harm, no foul. You've got a little bit of a bounce coming from about the 383s on the SPY. I'm going to set an alert for NVIDIA in case it wants to pop this 150 to the upside. Kind of also want to play it. Do I want to maybe... I was thinking about going long here with a stop loss for a low day, but not sure how I feel about that.
APM coming right back down. Just be careful. It seems to me like there's a lot of like kind of these little traps right now. I'm looking to see what our next move is going to be here towards 10. AUPH has gave up that 575, so just be careful there. That's coming down. And go to my intraday scanner here to see what's still moving here. Cleveland Cliff showing up on there. So I'll just take a look at Cleveland. What do you got?
We'll take a very small trade on NVIDIA here simply because I want to see if this level of 147 holds or not. So I'm going to have my stop loss right around, let's call it 146.52s. Looking to take profits around 148.52s. Just playing support and resistance areas. So that's all we're doing here.
Gold having a hell of a day there. If you guys are trading gold, not bad stocks to be in today. They're having a great day. Basic Materials now leading us now. So just to keep that in mind, Basic Materials now leading us. In the red, you got defensives, energy, and utilities. Slightly into the green, communication services, and industrials. Steel having a hell of a day there. Team Cleveland Cliff leading that party. X, nice little VWAP bounce. NUE, we'll see if that can hold.
All right, looks like I'm a stop loss on NVIDIA got hit. So let's go ahead and check out what went wrong with that trade. We wanted to play it, so we were hoping that this one here would go ahead and hold. Well, it looks like we did go to get filled on our SPY, so I'll focus in on that here in a minute. But I was wanting to see this support area, resistance area hold as support. It did the first time around. Unfortunately, not the second time around, as it did go ahead and bleed down. And then we did go ahead and get filled on our SPYs here at the previous close of 382.51s. Our take profits is going to be 383.51s. I'm going to go ahead and move this to the 48s just because of that whole number situation. So that's a 48s. Still more than a 1-to-1 trade. Let's see which way we turn up. I have taken 3 trades. I was green on the first one, taken L on the last 2, and now this is the 4th one. Let's see how it goes.
First Solar looking great. Tesla short. Maybe it should have been something that I should have been thinking of towards the bell. But my problem there is that it's just too much risk at the open there for a rip. But it's looking great to the short side here, as a lot of people were probably leaning to the long side on Tesla. You're getting people just getting washed out here.
Yeah, my biggest issue of not being able to go short Tesla was the fact that it just went ahead and flushed, right? So there was
it didn't give you a chance, really.
Yeah, no real retest, if you will. You had the 116 retest, which what we talked about, but for me, I personally wanted to go ahead and get the 115 one. Didn't quite get it, but yeah, now moving to new lows on Tesla.
I think you still actually got it, though. It still even gave you that 115 try, where you cut through 115, went right back above it.
Well, so for me,
maybe like 116 on there.
Yeah, so you can see this, right? It bled through 115. Then it was the tested 116. I would have gone stopped out at that point. Then when it cracked 115 again, I would have wanted to see a retest around this area, right? So I can get a better fill. Yeah. I would have wanted a retest around there, which obviously it never quite gave. But nonetheless, that's where we're at.
I mean, 112s now. Boom. SPY coming down fast. Look at that 945. How is the top, literally the top of the SPY today? It happens often, team. We look for these 945 reversals. Do we know when they're going to happen? No, but we actually a lot of the times look for them. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean reversal for the end of the day. It just means more like a pause in the action, pullback. Yeah. We'll see what happens now.
Yeah, the numbers come out. The market needs to digest and see what's what, right? So that's the whole play here. And of course, for us, we're in the trade. We're in green territory, but not green enough for us to go ahead and lock in some gains. We're not locking in gains until and unless we get to 383.48s. And if we get stopped out, then hey, we get stopped out, which now that green trade has turned red.
All right, guys, I'm trying to get one here. There we go. I'm going to take a smaller position right now. Starter in Duke to the short side. Talked about this first swing trade on for the year. First entry there in Duke. Duke, of course, we talked about how they were struggling. It's had a long run for a while. Look for this one to start cutting through the 103s. That's going to give me confirmation on the day, and we'll look for it to close towards 102.50s for the rest of the day. I'll let you guys know if I give you guys an update or take a second or third entry. I've only had 1/3 of my entry here. Normally attack swing trades in thirds.
Tesla just looking to make new lows, trying to see where we could get a little bit of a bounce. The first area that comes to mind is about that 110, but it's not even that clean on this one. Would not be surprised if we even bled right through that one. But 110 is the only area that I would even consider playing this one. And SPY just continues to play with my heart. We were green, we were red, we were green, now we're red again. Taking a look at the futures here. 38.50s could be an area to play. That's about 10 points away. Neo rejected that 150, coming back down. ATNF, that second leg, took it to the 5s, and now that's coming back down. Let's see if there's anything interesting that I care for. Looks like I will get stopped out of my SPY here momentarily. Let's see if Apple breaks this previous day's support at around 127.46. It's just been straight red for the past 15 minutes.
All right, team, if you guys listening in, enjoying the live trading action, smash the like up whenever you get a chance. No need to do it this second, but just show us that you guys support us. We'll see if we get to, we'll put a little 300 like goal today. Hit it up. Definitely a tougher move here, and I feel like a little bit of some bull traps. Tesla now down to just 112. Are we going to see that reversal? Are we going to take out that 108 today? Could see it. Could see it. Appreciate it, BZMB, smashing that up. SQQQ says Candyman Trader. Yeah, when you started seeing that flip at the 945, you started seeing the tech names go from the top, starting going into the red. Now we're definitely seeing it in the red. If you're looking at what's leading to the downside, defensive, energy, and technology getting hit hard. So you guys can be looking at SQQQ. Day traders are also looking at success. That one really nice move there from the 38 break. That's where I was looking at it. I was looking at it because Soxel was coming back here through the 10 and not really making that nice positive move, even though NVIDIA was making a nice little step up there towards the push. AMD was actually giving a little bit more of a breakout look through 66.50, and that one was a nasty turnaround there. All right, let's go to Apple. Apple's chart through the 129 again. I wanted to look for this move. Now we're truly getting the washout of Apple. Could look for any bounce into 128 to get short for me and use the 130 or the 129 area as my out. I'll look for bounces in Tesla late, in Apple later today. If we can bounce back up through 128, I'll be looking for some short on Apple as we're starting to see Apple just wash down. And this is not good, team. This is why I think that we could come down, because Apple's such a leading indicator of the market that if we start seeing this chart just give up on the daily chart, because look at the daily chart. There was a lot of sideways action around this 129. Very important level from 22. Now we'll start looking to see if we come through those levels and start breaking.
You've got, so my stop hit on the SPY, right? So we are 1 and 3 for the day. So we had one good trade. We had 3 bad ones. Now the next trade that I'm looking at is going to be the 140 area on NVIDIA. So the 140 should be 145.03 is where I'm looking to get filled. 50 share stop loss is going to be about 144.03. As a matter of fact, I might actually not even give it that much room. There we go. We'll move that there. Just trying, and so here's a reasoning for the plays. And again, this is the reason I'm okay taking these, even though my trades haven't been working out, is because I end up documenting them, right? So like this one, when I document it later today and I journal it, it'll be, hey, bounce play off of support, off of previous support, hold number, this, that, the other. If it works, cool. If not, cool. At the end of the month, I'll take a look and say, hey, these strategies, you lost X amount of money. These strategies, you won X amount of money, and kind of take a look at what my process was like and, you know, start seeing what's working and what's not. But here you can see the 145 that was resistance, or excuse me, support, resistance. Then it went ahead and finally broke through. We can see if it acts as support or not. Similar to how the 240 should go ahead and be support. You can see resistance here, cracked, became support. And then, of course, it went ahead and launched well above it as well. So let's see. The SPY obviously bleeding. Now it's gone from red. Excuse me, it's gone green to red. Now looking to go red to green possibly. I did go ahead and it looks actually like it stopped me out. Let's see where I did get stopped out. Where did I get stopped out on the SPY? 76s is where I got stopped out. And the low of this candle is 67. So yeah, about 10 cents away.
PLL looking interesting here, potentially for a trade. The big thing for me is it needs to hold 46 on pullbacks here and then break out through 46.50s. Doesn't look too bad there. Of course, we mentioned that one with the Tesla news. We'll see if that helps it out today, just slightly above the VWAP.
So RSLS had like a 50-to-1 reverse split. Okay. I guess it's now at 33 cents pre-split. That's cute. Anyway, looks like we did get filled on our NVIDIA trade again. Let's see if we take another L or if we finally get some gains on this one. Just wanting this support line to go ahead and hold, but if it cracks, it could go ahead and bleed down to the 144.40s just as easily.
Monster one, of course, the crow all over it. RSLS. Not a bad move there. Look at this 1 minute team. It had 2 halts. Nice little push. Never came back to the VWAP. Just a nice little pullback and then just breakout. Nice little move there. Not bad off the $7. This got up there in the pre-market from that 7 up there to 9. It's up to 1683s. What a move there. Definitely a smaller name, but Crow all over it. Appreciate you, Crow, like always. We'll keep it going.
Yeah, for me, it's Trader View. So let me...
Yeah, there's Trader View. There's Evernote if you guys want a free one, but that you have to do more work.
Yeah, so this is it right here for me. So you can see I've got the gold plan. And I did, let me go back and see of 2021. So I used to journal them right here, right? But then I kind of stopped and I just wasn't consistent with it. So I need to get back into, journaling and keeping an eye on what I do and different things like that. But that's what I use. If you have any questions, you can feel free to DM me and I'm happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, this is where you got to do the hard work, right?
Yeah.
The hard work is not the trading. A lot of the times the hard work is actually just taking down your data, doing some research, analytics into your data. Where's your strengths? Where's your weaknesses? The math will tell you. So always look into your math to get a better understanding of probability and how your process is actually executing. Thinking about adding to Duke, but I'm going to stay with my original position. Just slightly into the red right now. But remember, I can get into another 2/3 of this. Was looking for a little test up there towards 103.50's rejection. It didn't even get there. So not looking too bad there in Duke. Just going to keep that swing trade. Remember, team, I'm trying to get back more into my swing trading game than my day trading game, because this year I want to get back towards swing trading. Eventually, swing trades will be a lot towards the long side. I just got to wait till I start seeing the real move from the Fed, and I still have yet to see that. So with that being mentioned, I'm going to stay careful until I see the Fed flip, or at least mention stopping the rates.
We got a 50-cent bounce in our favor, but unfortunately we may not get more than that as it goes ahead and turns right back down to the downside.
All right, give me 1 second here.
You're good,
just checking something. You know how it always is.
Yeah. I haven't been hit up on Slack, so usually means I'm staying out of trouble.
If only that was true for myself.
Oh, man. All right, let's go ahead and check out a couple of other tickers as well. SPY, obviously, we talked about him bleeding to the downside once it went ahead. So you can see how the previous close held as a minor, and very minor support. Popped up, cracked, retested it. So to me, this is an area, if you're a bull and you're wanting SPY to get back to the upside, you've got to go ahead and crack this 282.51 level and hold it. Is what you need to do. Because if you look back here, similar kind of story, obviously not as clean, but you can see there was a lot of transactions and trades happening right over there. So if you're a bull, you need to get it up towards this 282.50 area and then some. Para, let's go ahead and take a look at Para, or Para, however you pronounce it. Looks like RSLS is halted once again.
All right, looking good on that Duke trade. We'll just let that work. One of the things that I'm going to be doing also is smaller swing trades. No need to put so much money into all my swing trades. I'm going to be trying to do multiple swing trades. So taking small base hit approaches is how I'm going to be attacking it. We'll see what happens on Duke. It's looking good for that 103 flush. Then we'll really start looking better on the daily chart.
Who's the yawner? The yawner fails again. Who's the yawner? Is it me? I usually yawn on stream.
Yawner? Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think I've yawned yet. Might be. All right, let's take a look there. Basic materials pulling back. If you take a look what's in the green now, you're only having 2 sectors. That's showing me just be careful, team. What are the sectors? Healthcare, basic materials. So let's look for maybe some of those to catch a little bit of the bounce. Healthcare names, drug manufacturers leading there. Big names, AZN, nice little day there. NVS, nice little day. Johnson & Johnson, good day there. SNY. That's why I kind of like these names right now. The healthcare, nice little bounce back on the day. Will Merck get a little bit of a lift here now? We'll see if that can get a little bit of a push. Looking at GSK, nice little lift. Basic materials, I would look at gold. Gold pulling back here towards the VWAP. Silver right below it. Copper also. FCX, look at this. Little VWAP style move off the 3850s. Kind of like this. This to me, I need to be looking at this more in a swing trade, but day trading perspective doesn't look too bad there. Swing trade perspective doesn't look bad if we hold towards 38, but I would have wanted to get a little bit into this on the earlier move above 38. You see how you cracked 38 and you recovered it. I'd have to risk down all the way to 38. That's about 64 cents, about 1.6%. We would need at least 3% to the upside. What's that move to 40? That's not too bad. 3.82%. Doesn't look bad there. FCX today off the VWAP. FCCO, another one off VWAP. You'll take a look at those. Aluminum, steel. Cleveland Cliff has been the strength there. We'll look to see if X gets a little bit of a bounce here. NUE. Will those get the bounce? Cliff leading it right now.
JSPR, Crow, I was looking at this one that you mentioned it. For me, I'm curious as to why you're in it. For me, just doesn't look as fluid in terms of volume or anything. So I'm curious what you're seeing here. But that 150 area should be good. And, starting the year 1 for 5 is not how I wanted to go. Or 1 for 4. I don't know at this point. But let's see how much we're down. We're down about $1.28 to start things off. Let's see what Apple's doing here.
AU bounce off of VWAP. Gold trades getting a little bit of a bounce there. We'll see what happens if those can continue on the day. What's I think it's JNUG, right? Yeah, JNUG.
That used to be a hot one back in the day.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at right now. Gold miners index, right? That's a leverage style play there. If you like gold for just the intraday action, I think JNUG would be an interesting look. Now we're getting about 3 attempted breakdowns here through the VWAP. I would like to see a little bit of a wick here, then recovery of 39. We'll see if this comes back there towards 39.50s. ULD, very similar chart, right? AU, very similar chart. We'll see what happens on these names. Yeah, Becca, I see you. There you go, JNUG. The Crow said, I'm just looking for, a little bit of 15 cents, a couple nickels on JSPR.
I respect it. Yeah, I was just curious.
That's what it's all about there. SPY doing what? Sideways action here, team. What did I kind of expect? I expect a washing out of the retail traders and then institutional picking up the mess. So we've been getting this down hard side action in the SPY. I'm going to look for some calming action towards the kind of middle part of the day. And then that power hour rally. We've been seeing it often. We'll look to see if we get it again. I might even have to start trading the power hour because that's what I've been seeing lately. And that's when a lot of times swing traders take their trade, not towards the open. I might start trying to attempt that kind of strategy a little bit more if I continuously see this type of moves. We'll see what happens today. I'm going to be looking for that kind of balancing action around the midday and then strength coming into the close. We'll see if we get that rally towards the end.
Great job, Candyman. Way to execute today, starting the year off green and walking away. Shout out to you. I should have done that after the first trade.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Now, one of the things is starting off the year, it's really nice to get a nice little uplift, right? In your wave, because you're going to be considering, you're not going to think about last year's profits now. You got to think about this year's profits, right? And so at this point, it sometimes is okay, especially if you're not seeing like perfectly what you expected to happen in the market or what you were looking at, and the price action is not matching what you're thinking. You're not feeling in the zone, yet you nailed into a green trade. Sometimes it's okay. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I hear you on that one.
The most important thing that happens to us often is FOMO, missing out of trades, not taking profits. Those are the type of common mistakes you hear from beginners, right? Apple, good signal as they loaded up on 122 puts last week. Well, that's why I was expecting more downside action today. And Tesla was one that I expected what? I expected there to be people caught in the last couple of days because they expected Tesla to reverse. Oh, it's extremely oversold. It's going to bounce. Expectations, team. That's what can ruin you. Look at that first hour on the day there for Tesla. Not looking good at all.
Well, keep in mind, it did bounce, right? At the end of the year, it did go and bounce from the 10 or 110s or whatever all the way to 123s. And then obviously it couldn't sustain it anymore. And then it went ahead and dropped. But yeah.
My thing is that
looking at the daily here.
That looks to me like sellers' exhaustion. And if anything, sellers taking profits towards the end of the year. Sure. And then giving you a little bit of a bounce back because, they have to go off the offer, right? They have to get out, right? And then they're getting out of a bigger trade to the short side. I don't expect to see this continuing down. And then one thing I could clearly see on the hourly chart is how much resistance was holding at prior support. I often look at this. We talk about this often. Look at your hourly chart. Look at this support right here from the 22 towards the 27th was acting as resistance for the upside move. That showed us more rejection style right back down. And now if we cleared that 123, kind of 12-ish, maybe you're thinking 123 30s, we're going into 125s today. That would have been a different outlook. That would have been kind of more with that push towards the upside.
As a beginner, what would be the best skill to strengthen? There's so many. That's a solid question.
That is a solid one.
I would say... So two things. Mentally, I would say keeping your emotions strong. And that happens when you take size that doesn't make or break your day, right? So for example, to me, I know that, hey, I wanted to start slow. I didn't want to come out the gates with a bang. So I've been taking a lot smaller size and I'm down, $128. My support and resist and my risk rewards have been on point. Nothing too crazy whatsoever. I'm just trading mechanically, if you will. It's like, hey, here's the level that I see. If I'm right, cool. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And obviously today I've been wrong. And I think what I'll realize when I go back and take a look at my trades is that I try to catch a falling knife at support instead of letting support be confirmed as support and letting it bounce and things like that. So that's something for me to notate. But mentally, as a beginner, I think you got to go and get your emotions in check and kind of try to be as mechanical about it as you can. In terms of charts, I would say support and resistance. Going back and taking a look at the 15 minutes is what I like to do sometimes. Let's see, for example, on SPY, right? You can go ahead and see that, hey, where's the, where's NVIDIA? Was it NVIDIA that was there? NVIDIA on this one, you had support, turn into resistance, pop to the upside. I was wanting this one to hold the support. It did not. If you go to the 5 minute, you can see that it had a little bit of a bounce, but it just came right back down. So now if you're looking to go short, you want this support area to go ahead and turn into resistance and hold and come all the way back down. Similar story in terms of SPY as well. So we cracked down, tested the resistance, and then we just rejected to the downside. The Microsoft, a matter of fact, see, this is where I get into trouble because I really want to take this Microsoft trade from this 240, but obviously it's not there right now, so I won't because it's 50 cents higher and I won't chase. But let me go ahead and move this out. But you can see here you had resistance, popped above, gave you about a point, came back, tested it, held as support, and it gave you a $2 move. So that's why, to me, this is an interesting area to go ahead and play. The question is if I will. Yeah, what the heck? Why not? I like it. And for those of you that are thinking this guy sucks at trading, please feel free to fade me. I have no problems doing that. If you would like to fade my trades, I'm giving you plenty of opportunities to be green. So please, please, please utilize them. But yeah, that's the trade that I've got ready to go.
All right,
Well,
just trying to set up my Duke trade here, put it out there. But one skill. All right, let's go back to that. That was a good question there. The question, let's go back towards it, is as a beginner, what one skill would you try to strengthen the most, right? So one of the things that I would talk to you about that is understanding what type of trader you are. Really, that's going to determine more the skill that you should be working on. If you're a day trader, in my eyes, beginner traders need to figure out what? They need to figure out, A, what does it take for them to qualify a high quality stock? What do I mean by that? Is it a setup that you're looking for? Is a particular setup? Is it volume? Do you have some things to really locate your type of setup? And is it discretionary or non-discretionary? Things that you need to think about as a day trader, right? Day trading is a lot of building systems and also understanding that you want to, if you can, make it more non-discretionary than discretionary, where you're making subjective opinions, more objective moves, right? That's how at least we've seen a lot of day traders have success. A lot of those traders go for more even neutral style trading, right? Which is using hedging, using statistical data to balance this out, non-discretionary kind of systems. But if you're using a discretionary system like patterns or something like that, you want to really have it defined for yourself. So that's what I would say for day traders. Swing traders, one thing that we need to learn, relative strength. Where's the momentum going? Rotation. Is it going to growth names? Is it going to value? Is it going in healthcare? Is it going in utilities? That's what I would recommend there. Learning what's called top-down approach, right? Not bottom-up approach. That's what a lot of day traders do. Investors overall, what I would say there is learning into how fiscal and monetary policy affect your portfolio. If you can just master that, I think you're going to have a good outlook for long-term investing. Boom. Tried to do it to every little style of trader out there. What are you seeing, my friend?
Just keeping an eye on Boeing. Someone mentioned in the chat about a possible great long setup. I was just trying to see if I see the similar thing or not. But someone, Phil, yeah, that's another good thing that'll, maybe not for. I think once you start learning about the markets and support and resistance, like take a look and see 4 tickers, right? Whether that's one in AMD and your chips, one in Apple, one in whatever you're comfortable with, because learning how they trade around certain EMAs, certain, hold numbers, or when an options come in, how do they react, or this, that, the other? Do they follow the market typically? So yeah, learning behaviors and personalities of stocks themselves can absolutely be very beneficial. No question about that. But someone else had asked a question in terms of, are you using any indicators from TradingView to find support and resistance? No, not really. I'm literally just looking at the chart and then looking left and seeing what I find. So on this Microsoft trade, which thankfully is in the green for now, but not green enough, looking back at it, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but someone asked a question, just looking left, and you can see resistance, popped above, support, held as support, continued to the upside. So no indicators. Just strictly looking left. That's all. I'm sure there might be. Here, let's look together, see if there are. Let's see what this is. I don't even know what this is. So yeah, I guess you could have some things similar to it on TradingView, but for me, I always just look left and plot my own stuff. That way, if I lose, I can just yell at me, which I will do for this Microsoft trade that is definitely not working out. What's going to be interesting is, okay, never mind, it did bounce. I was going to say if SPY bounces from 380 and you got 50 cents there, it didn't go all the way to test it. Missed it by about maybe 15 cents or so. Is RLS back up? I saw it halt down. And boy, oh boy, did it come right back up. Nice. I'm going to text my, let's see, give me a second.
All right, let's go towards, I'll take a look at some charts out there. I'll do some sector analysis here. I'm definitely going to pull this down here, the comment here. Take it down. All right, let's get into it. Action here. Let's take a look there. So Duke, you guys know how I'm looking at this. I'm looking for it to come back down. Or remember, I talked about it earlier today. It closed below 102.50s is what I'm looking for. A nice confirmation there on Duke. Risk towards 105. Can always add to this position. We'll see what happens out there on Duke Energy. I'll look for the XLU to also close into the red. That's going to give me a good sign. We'll see what happens there. Getting out of that, let's go to sector rotation, see how that's looking, right? So overall move from the open, what's doing well? Everything in the red from the open. What does that show us? Be careful out there, team. There could be these washouts and then recovery of washout. Doesn't mean that it completely takes it down completely, but yeah, everything in the red from the open just shows us that I feel like everyone was kind of leaning towards the upside here. Could have been some bull traps. We'll see what happens. Are you here every day? Yes, Anna, right here. Anna Garcia, you don't got to go anywhere. You want to trade? Have a room that you can trade, build process, and definitely support each other because that's what we're all about here at Benzinga. Hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell so you can be notified the moment we go live. We got over 425 of you guys. Want to keep growing. We're at this live trading room over 1,000. Do us the favor, team. Hit the like. That's how you show us that you support us and we keep growing. All right, taking a look, basic materials, gold, where we're going to get the lift there, right? Well, gold is pulling back right now. No bounce yet. Going to take a look at some names like GOLD to see if we can recover there. 5 minute doesn't look too bad there. I'll keep watch. JNUG is the one way that you guys can watch that. You guys can see how that's pulled back significantly and hasn't bounced yet. So we'll see if that can get the bounce or not. Cleveland Cliff, super strong stock today. We'll see if it comes back up towards 1725 or does it just start letting go? Because even here, X towards red towards the open, even after a really nice move there from Cleveland Cliff, NUE washing out also. Be careful out there, team. A lot of red starting to show. And SPY just leaking here as we're towards 380s. We'll see what happens if we do bounce back. But you see how we haven't made a move to VWAP even yet on the SPY? That tells me something there. All right, what else is not doing well? Financial services turning around, industrial services, utilities, energy, oil names getting slack today. XOM down towards 108, even though this was starting to come back now really quickly. In the pre-market, XOM was as high as even 110.80s, down towards 108.40s. We'll see what happens there in these names. Oxy down to 61.50. Downturn there in some oil names. All right, catching up with the chat. What's going on out there? It's good to see you guys. If you guys got tickers, keep throwing them out. We'll see what happens. Who dat? Stop with the drips. I don't want to put you on timeout. I like you, man. Just stop with the excessive emojis. All right, let's keep going. My mentor made me lock myself up and sim trade for 6 months and told me if we reset our sim account, we start over, you're going to be obsessed and marry your screen. Well, you know, one of the things that I would say is that I don't think there's necessarily wrong with sim accounts. I think one thing that you should be looking towards is how do you step up from that, right? There's nothing wrong, I think, with paper trading. One thing that you need to learn, though, is, okay, so how am I going to get from paper trading to live money? Right? There's a process there. And it's not just, oh, I look at my statistical data on paper and I move into a bunch of money in live. I think there's a slower process that needs to be done there. I think you need to, if you're going from paper trading, and of course, you guys choose your own process approach, but I think if you're going from paper trading, you might want to go towards what I call one share trading first before you put a lot of money at risk. One share trading, meaning you're probably buying one share or maybe even 2 shares of a stock because you want to practice like selling half and then selling the rest of the position. But this is going to go ahead and do what? Extremely limit the loss potential. I think this is the first thing traders need to do. Show to yourself that you can be profitable from 2 shares consistently. Then tell yourself, okay, let's move this up. Let's go to 10. Let's go to 20. Let's go to 30. Let's go to 40. Let's go to 50. I think where a lot of traders go wrong in day trading a lot, we come in here with small accounts, and then we want to put that small account to work immediately. And with all the accounts, heavy concentration. And that's an easy recipe to end up doing what? Well, getting right back down to zero, right? And so I just wanted to wish everyone the best. Keep pushing forward. We're always going to talk about process. If you don't agree with our thinking, by all means, don't agree with it. Stick to your own. We always agree that your own thinking is probably the best, because what is that doing? That's sticking to what you believe in and building up the confidence in your skills. We're not here to copycat. We're here to build up our own skills and get to the next level.
Yeah, just like this. Let me go ahead and put my L up here. Or if you gotta, there you go. Microsoft bleeding through is going to get stopped out here in just a couple of seconds. SPY rejecting the 381s. Tried to go ahead and pop above it. Could not. So for me, for the rest of the day, I am going to be done. As my Microsoft trade gets stopped out, I will be down approximately $200. And I will go ahead and just sit out for the rest of the time being. I will still hang out since Ryan's not here. Make sure Mitch isn't by himself. But I probably won't take any trades on that one after this gets stopped out here in just 3 cents. 3 cents. Just take my money. Why give me anxiety? Just take it.
All right, we'll keep going here, team. We're going to try to do our best to get you as close to Benzinga Live as possible. I know that some of you guys don't tune in for Benzinga Live, but I'll tell you guys, check out AB. He brings in a ton of interesting ideas and talk, discussion more in Benzinga Live. So if you guys like that type of topic, you like going into deeper conversations, well, check out my man AB on Benzinga Live. We know a lot of you guys might have head out the door, but I tell you guys, check out what AB has for 23. Might just have something up his sleeve. Just gonna have to find out on Benzinga Live up next.
What's his name said he went short, or she said they went short at 384. I'm curious as to why. And obviously, you know, you're kind of at 381, so that makes sense to talk about now. But for me, the way that I see it is, if you saw this area as a support and resistance, and you saw this candle as a retest, then I can make sense of going short at 384s. So let me know if it's a 384 retest, right, which is why you went short, or what the deal was there. But at the moment, you can see SPY is holding on to the 380s. Would not be surprised if we just kind of consolidate here and then make a move up or down.
I hear you, Hex. I'll get on that one too. I need to get on that one too for at the close. But I hear you. Good feedback. That's what it's all about. Ryan asking about, isn't Ryan in Detroit? He's on his way right now. He's traveling. He's traveling right now. He'll be into the office tomorrow, so I'm sure he'll be joining us up, team, from the office. So definitely, if you guys ever want to check out the office at Benzinga, Detroit, downtown Detroit, let us know, team. Got to plan a little traders meetup. Also going to be working on a couple of different things this year, right? I want to fill you guys in. I'm doing a book club. Yes, I said it, a book club, team. It's not just going to be for day trading. It's not just going to be for swing trading. And it also won't only be on retirement. It'll be on everything. Everything that you guys can go ahead, keep building towards your financial growth and intelligence. Of course, this is going to be more educational, but if you guys want to learn and build through going through all the books that we can in the financial industry, well, join in, team. I'll throw up the link right here. Join the forum so that you guys can join in on this. Actually, I need to maybe put a little bit of some spaces between that, so just in case you guys can't click on it on YouTube. But I'll put it up one more time here. You guys can join the book club. By all means, you guys don't have to. It's just for you guys. More value. And a lot of this will be on Sundays, on the weekend, where we can work on building our skills.
I like that. That's awesome, dude. Someone asked about Boeing. So if you like, so you can see how on Boeing here, well, this is a trade. If you were taking it here, the 1-to-1 risk reward, your stop loss would be right here around, what is that?
Ooh, that looks
192.
Juicy.
Yeah.
No Mitch.
And then you can take it to the upside. So that'd be your 1-to-1 trade. But the reason I have this yellow line, or this purple line rather, is because of where support has held thus far. This is a 15-minute candle. Each candle represents 15 minutes of action, and you can see that it's held this area. So ideally, the closer you get it to this, the better. However, once this cracks, I can see low day coming quite easily. Does book club have any cost? No, I don't believe it has any cost whatsoever.
You know what the cost is? Help
time.
out. Join in the discussions. We're going to have literally where you guys can actually join in. And I'm not kidding about this. Like literally, we can have up to 10 people into our stream. So we want you guys to be a part of this. We want you guys to ask questions. We want to look for real life examples literally as we go through these books, right? We see them talking about a descending triangle. We're going to go and look for those in the market, because I think that that's really how you get to learning, right? Knowledge, get it to practical knowledge, and then you can really kind of get it underneath your belt, right? That's what we'll be working on, team.
And something else I know someone in the chat had asked about new traders and what advice we'd have, this, that, the other. Another one would be to know your stop losses and adhere to them, because you want to make sure that you don't continue bleeding, right? So for example, you guys know I've taken losses today. My stop loss on what do you call it? Microsoft was 239.37. So let's see, where is that? 239.37, 239.37. So about here. All right, let's go ahead and put this away. So here's where I took my stop loss, right here. And now you've gotten this much more of a downside movement that I would still be holding the bag on. You know, so it's like, hey, I took my L. I was wrong. I'm out of here. That's it. I'm living to fight another day. I'm down a couple $100. I'm okay. I'm okay with this one, you know. Let's see what we've got. What I'd be interested in seeing is if this SPY ends up holding this 380 level. So if you like the long, 380 has got to be your risk off. If you break 380, you've got to go. You got to get out. And if you're looking to go long, take a look at, relative strength stocks. What that means is you've got the SPY here that you can see is down 0.5%. And if you believe, hey, this is going to be a bounce, the market is going to come back strong. Cool. Let's take a look at stocks that are green when the market is red. So you'd be looking at your Metas, which someone mentioned in the chat. So I'll get to that in a second. Your Google, your Amazon. The best one to play would be your Meta. So if you believe, hey, the market's going to bounce and not break this 380, maybe consider going long on Meta. As you can see, it's held up quite well. Your stop loss could be about this 122. So you're risking about $1 and looking to see if you can get a move to the upside. I'm actually going to see if we have any options that are coming into Meta, because that can be, nope, I typed in meet instead. That's not it. That's the wrong ticker. You've got actually a few minutes ago, you had the 128 and 129 calls coming in on the ask expiring this week. Let's see what we got. The market's got to hold this area though. Look at that nice little bounce on the 15. What do you think, Mitch? Taking Meta here, taking Meta long with the risk off of 122 break.
I mean, what I would say is really the support here is the price action resistance from pre-market, right? So around the 122.50 area, I'd be probably using more of that as trying to get my entry closest to that, so that I can use the 15-minute candle. 122.48.
Okay,
pre-market resistance. So 122.50. That's kind of where I'd be wanting to get in. And then you could just use the lows. But, maybe you're looking – some people like to look for double bottoms. That's what we see right now. Double bottom right there, 122.28, 122.29 on the 15, right? If those break, I would say you're out. But at least I understand why you're looking at it, right? That's what's important there. So some people can see it, some people can't. And that's always going to happen, right? The big thing is, are you going off levels? And does everybody see the same level? That's important too.
So the main thing that we've got to clear here is got to be this level of the 123.42. As you can see, you had resistance. Obviously, it popped up, came right back down. But once it did, couldn't get over it. So I did just go long 50 shares. We'll risk another 44.50. I'm okay with that. I wanted to get 100, but I'm already taking an L. And it'd be amazing for me to end up being a meme on the internet because I've lost six straight trades. I'll take the clout. I'd rather have that clout than the other clout that's going on with social media right now.
Yeah. That's for sure. One that I was looking for solar. Remember, guys, I was trying to get short for solar. Still haven't been able to get it. It just never went to my entry, never filled me. So we'll see what happens there. But solar is into the red today, so we'll see if that can continue down. Duke doing decent for me, nothing crazy, really small position. We'll see what happens there. Getting a little bit of a bounce back. SPY overall, not doing much, right? Leak from 945. Overall, that's what we've been seeing in the SPY. It's just going to be tough. That's what it's all about there. What about shorting, Mitch and Zunaid? Do you plan to do more of that in 2023? No, if anything, I should have done more of that in 22. Swing short is what I should have been doing a lot of. And I think that one thing that I can tell you, at least from that question, Hex, that I learned in 2022 is I've always heard, and I did my research on this, always heard, don't fight the Fed, right? That's always been said. Now, clearly, I have experienced that. I'm going to learn from that moment. The next moment, because there's always going to be another bear market, right? At some point in time, I'm going to learn from that. When the Fed flips, I should be flipping too. We need to learn from that, right? We need to learn how to balance out. Learn from the two things. Remember how I talked about earlier, for investing, it matters understanding a lot of fiscal and monetary policy. If you can understand where both of those are heading, then that can give you a lot of advantage in the long-term outlook.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I shorted plenty in 2022. I plan on just playing the setups. I necessarily don't have like, hey, I'm going to go long. Hey, I'm going to go short. I'm just playing what's ahead of me, right? Every single day I am cash. I showed you guys my Thinkorswim account, all cash at the end of the day. My TradingView account, all cash at the end of the day. I had to pull money out of my E-Trade because, I got to pay taxes. So I don't have any money in there right now. But yeah, I just plan on being cash every single day and just moving on with life accordingly. The meta trade is green. Something else that I've kind of recognized, and again, I'll see when I document my trades later on, is that my trades have been green, but maybe my stop losses and my profit target levels weren't realistic in this market, right? So like my NVIDIA trade was green. My Microsoft trade was green. But it just wasn't at the levels where I wanted to take the profits. So maybe, that's something for me to kind of take a look back on. Yeah, Phil, great job on Boeing. I'm with you here on Meta. I think you may have, what was your price on Meta? I think you were waiting for a break of 123s, if I remember correctly. So now look, we're at this level. Now, ideally, around this area is where I would take profit. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I am a human being. Around this area is where I would go ahead and take profits. Why? Because you can see every single time we've knocked on this door, we've been knocked down in terms of price. However, my emotions are taking over in the sense of, hey, I'm down $200. I'm not going to make all of it up right now. But my theory is that, hey, the more we knock on this door, the more we can push it down. And what I mean by that in terms of stocks is the more we go ahead and touch this level, the more sellers exhaust. So if there's like a million shares available to sell, and we went ahead and took care of 300,000 here, 300,000 here, 300,000 here, it's like, hey, finally we went ahead and broke through it. So I'm hoping, right? The reason I moved my stop loss, the reason I moved my take profit up is because it's like, hey, we continue to keep knocking. This 380 is holding on the SPY. Meta has relative strength where the market is down. Meta's up about 2.5%. And so far, it's been great. So far, my theory has been A1. You can see now the one-to-one trade has been met, right? So if I had 100 shares, I would go ahead and take profit on 50 of them right here, right now, move my stop loss to break even, and continue to see if we can get a little bit more of a push. But because of all the reasons I mentioned, and because of the fact that I'm down on the day, I kind of want to get a little bit more out of it, especially if the market bounces. I want to participate in it.
Interesting setup in Oracle. Just want to put that out there. Nice little setup here on the daily and the 3-minute or 15-minute chart. You can see how it's just getting above this 83. I'll look to see if it actually holds and gives you that breakout towards 83.50. If you're looking at Oracle, you could also be looking at it like a Cisco or an Adobe, right? Will these stocks get back towards the green? I think the leader right now in them is this Oracle. We'll see if it kind of gets that next push. Daily chart doesn't look that bad either. You can see how it's been trying to get back into the 83s, going back here towards the highs of 84.50s and 85.58. We'll see what happens there.
Bloom
All
Energy
right.
is, sorry, real quick.
No,
Bloom
you're
Energy
good.
is getting a lot of options here. $19 calls expiring January 20th, approximately $200,000 worth. That's ticker BE. $19 calls expiring January 20th of this year. Obviously, you can see the movement. Look at that volume just pick up to the upside we go. I don't know anything about this stock. I'm not going to play it, especially because you've already got to move to the upside. A little too late to join, but something to keep an eye on in case we come back down to test a $19 area or so if you're into that type of ticker. I'm going to concentrate on my meta.
Yeah, the only way I could play that is the 90 EMA strategy. So the 90 EMA strategy is always just trying to catch pullbacks on momentum stocks to the 9 EMA. On this chart, it would be the light blue line. So that'd be a pullback towards 1951. And a lot of times I look for right underneath it to be a resistance or something that I can use as support. We'll look to what happens there. As you see it curve on this light blue line, when it gets above the price action, we look for pullback sometimes on the 1 minute to that level for the buy the dip moment. We'll see what happens. Definitely BE get a nice little move today.
Nice.
Overall stocks that are moving on the last hour of the regular session here. Just taking a look. Like always, you guys can do this also with Benzinga Pro. Check it out, team. Get your 2-week free trial if you haven't used it yet. You don't even need a credit card to get that trial. I know a lot of people don't like to get trials because they have to put their credit cards on the line. Well, check out Benzinga Pro. You don't even need it, and you can determine if it's best for you. All right, we'll see what else is making moves right now. LEU, that's an interesting one. Making a little bit of a move up there. Let's take a look at that. It is getting a little bit of a lift. This is kind of that uranium style play, right? CEU. What was that? URA. Uranium. Yeah, uranium getting a little bit of a lift, but it's not UEC. I thought that would be getting a lift also. So LEU getting a lift today, but not really something that I trade often. Not enough volume there for me to be trading that. All right, what else is going on, team? You guys got tickers? Throw them up in the chat. It's time for a little bit of ticker time before we wrap things up, team. We're going to be wrapping up at 11. We'll see what else is going on out there, team. Hit the thumbs up. We'll keep it going. All right. LEU, Roy says Beach Bum. Okay. Dan Niles was pumping URA this AM on CNBC. Well, there you probably see why you're getting some kind of lift there. What's the trading platform you use on the stream? Well, there's plenty, man. You're seeing all different types. Access a little bit more specific question, Quack, and we got you like always.
What was the question? What?
I mean, it's
What's
platforms. There's like right now, I can tell you at least screen wise, there's 3, and then probably what we're using is probably like 6 or 7. So
yeah, so on stream, if you're talking about here, let me go back to me. If you're talking about this, I'm using the TradingView platform, which lets me chart in all of that. However, my broker is TradeStation. So within TradingView, I can log into my TradeStation account and therefore trade straight from the charting that I'm doing here. So TradingView is charting, TradeStation is the broker, and that's the integration that I have. And then I have on my left screen here my Thinkorswim broker, which I trade options and things like that on. So, like for example, I'm in a meta options play, things like that. But those are the two. And then I also use E-Trade, but I don't have any money in there because I needed to pay taxes. But so those are what I use for trading and charting. And then Benzinga Pro, which is this right here, is what I use for any news that I want to go ahead and take a look at. So someone went ahead and talked about RSLS. I was looking at that earlier. It's also just taking a look at, Apple, why that's been bleeding. I believe they had a downgrade. There it is. You had a downgrade on Apple. So this is how I get my news. And you can turn on the squawk here to get any news in terms of what's happening in the markets. So yeah, like Mitch said, quite a few things, but in terms of what you're seeing here is TradingView, which is the charting platform integrated with TradeStation, which is my broker.
All right, interesting stock right now. AUPH, of course, SPY trying to make a little bit of a step back. We'll see what happens there. AUPH is interesting. It's a big mover on the day. It's a biotech here. You guys will see the chart. I'm looking to see if we're going to break through 6 here and break strong through 6. 15-minute has like kind of that little pullback that it went through. 1557 held on support now. It's starting to come back up through 6 is what I'd be looking for. That nice little move. I'd be using the VWAP or maybe right here, support 575. We'll look to see if we take that next step up through 6 here. 592s. I'm not going to take it because this is definitely more not up my alley. Let's just be honest, team. I like finding these plays and I can find them all the time, but I'm not the greatest at trading these. So I'm going to stay on the sideline on these smaller names this year, especially because I'm going back towards the focus, right? And I would tell you guys, if this is more your focus, keep putting them up because I don't mind taking a look at them, but it's not up my alley. So a lot of times you're not going to see me take the trade, but we'll see what happens there on AUPH through 6.
On Meta here, since we're about 12 minutes away from the close. So this one is obviously it's met my 1-to-1, but I told you guys all the reasons that I'm being greedy on this trade here. And maybe I won't be here. Let me go ahead and make that. What's that? What's 89? That's 90. Let's talk about 180s. So we'll have it at $90 is where we'll look to take profits if we can. That's going to be a solid 2-to-1 risk reward trade for us on this one if we can go ahead and get it. But yeah, it went ahead and popped through, right? So we talked about it, how it's been knocking on that level so many times that it finally broke the 123.42 area. And now we're continuing our movement to the upside. And I'm hoping that we can go ahead and get a test of that 125, which means I would go ahead and lock in my gains of the 124.48s on this one here. SPY, that 380 level that we were talking about, is it going to hold? It sure as hell did. And now we get to see the next area of resistance that I personally see. If you look left, you've got this here, which it once again went ahead and rejected from for the short term. Then you've got this area here. So for me, it's number 1 right here, and then number 2 right there. So those are the 2 resistance levels that I'm seeing. Got to get over this 381.58s, and then the next stop is 382.43s, which is a previous close. Not saying that nothing else will come in between that'll reject it, but those are just the 2 levels to kind of keep an eye on, which makes me a little hesitant to see if this is going to continue moving to the upside or not. But so far, Facebook or Meta, whatever, has been strong. It's been moving along. We've been doing solid with it. What I'm going to do now is my stop loss, I'm going to move to break even. So I will not go red on this trade. It's at break even. If we come down and test it, cool. I'll get out. No harm, no foul. But I want to get that 2-to-1, which is why I'm being greedy with it and waiting for this to go ahead and take me out at 124.48. But yeah, I'll be right back.
All right, no worries there. You can step out for a second. I got you, my friend. I'm going to put your charts down. You just let me know when you want to come back on. There you guys see AUPH. Will we get that move? Will we get the break here? Taking a look at that.
All right,
we'll see if we get that breakout through the 6. It's at 599 here. Let's see if we get that AUPH little push here. See if we get that next lift there. There's 6. Can we get that next push here? Looking to see it. AUPH Biotech. Let's see how the biotechs are doing there. All right, that's where that JSPR is. I think it just halted again on that one. SCLX here, pulling back. There's a lot of these biotechs moving, these cheap names. Just be careful out there, team. But definitely, these are the names that are getting a lot of lift right now. AUPH, we'll see if we get that next step up. We did get a little bit of volume to come in there towards the 6 break. Let's see if we can get through the highs. The high right now on the intraday, 621. All right, potential reversal point on ENPH, Carmen, looking at. Let's take a look at ENPH. To me, this is red, and you guys know I've been looking at First Solar to the red side, so that shows me better movement here in ENPH. If I'm looking to where we can find a bounce, probably the 200-day. 200-day is going to come into play around 244, maybe a little bit lower as the price action drags it down a little bit closer towards the 240s. That's where I think you'll find some ENPH support. Now, will it hold that support? something to keep in mind, right? I mean, you've cracked above and below the 200-day multiple times. So you could crack below that 200-day moving average, maybe even eventually going to 200, then finding a bounce. I'm not strongest on First Solar and EMPH here to the beginning part of the year. First Solar, I wanted to get short today. 150 is where I was trying to get filled. 150.50. And it didn't get the fill there. We'll look to see if I bounce back because I'm looking to get short on those names. We'll see what happens. The EMPH is bouncing right now up to 255. You'll see some wicks there. See if it takes that out or not. SPY overall trying to come back, but can't come back yet. Tesla overall sideways action here. I'm looking for that kind of 12 o'clock move. Look for maybe another hour of sideways action, but I could see that lunch move being the move.
What is up?
All right, guys, it's 10:53. Let's do a little bit of ticker time where you guys run the charts. Throw up your tickers. What are you guys looking at right now? You guys want us to take a look? This is your chance. Nick threw up one. RDHL. Take a look there. All right, this one's a cheap one. I will let you guys know that right off the back. It's definitely a cheapy name here. You're down to 17 cents, right? You see a couple of up moves. You got the one up, one down, two up, two down, three up, three down is what I would expect to definitely hold here. I like the kind of the body hold here of 16. Maybe even get a wick towards 15. I wouldn't want to see it break 15 cents. I wanted to get back up through the 20 cents level and give you some volume on that next move when you get up through here. We'll see what happens. You can kind of draw a trend line looking for that next push up. That'd be the third push. We'll look to see if we get that next push or not. RDHL. Cheaper name, but we don't hide out here. We'll go ahead and cover it. Jay Rice saying JSPR halted. There you go. TL Enterprises missed the open. No worries, man. Welcome back. It's good to have you. Billy says Wally. I'll take a look there at Billy. Billy is a Chinese stock here, and it's made a nice move on the day. Look at the daily chart here. Nice little daily breakout. And what I like about this is that it's actually starting to hold patterns. If you look at BABA and JD, a lot of times it has a tendency of kind of hopping around. These are actually starting to look good. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but at least technically wise, JD, BABA, PDD, they don't look bad there. Billy, these stocks might have already bottomed, right? We got our bottoming action. That was down here. We haven't really turned around. China stock staying strong. All right, Meta, Phil talking about that one. Ooh, I don't know. My biggest part of Meta is if we keep rejecting 125. Is this just a gap fill, dead cat bounce, and then it comes right back down? That would be my concern there on Meta. But we'll see what happens. It has been strong, multiple resistance in this area. Really strong level for it now is if it does come back towards 120. If it breaks that, I'd get bearish. But right now, it seems like if it holds that, it's going to be looking decent here. We'll look to see if it pushes back through 125 on the day. A close above 125 would have me feeling a lot better because now you're out of this price consolidation area and you could look for the next run. We'll see what happens.
Quick shout out to Crow for having, what was it, JSPR, I believe it was. I think you got it around.
Couple
nickels. Could be wrong, but what we talked about it was, I think around here. You're trying to go from like 150s to 165s or something like that. But nice move, dude. Nice little move. I don't know if you're still in it or not, but nice move. To me, it was just not enough volume. You can see the gaps in the trading in terms of candles. Even on the 5-minute, it didn't look that great to me. It looked like I got to connect the dots.
It's probably
but
the
you made it work.
Chart.
You made it work. So props to you on that. And then let's go ahead and take a look at RSLS. I'm waiting on that $20 to pop as well, dude. This $20 should be interesting if we can get above that. But I'm not going to try to front run it, if you will. And there we go. All right, there's our trade on Meta working to the upside. Now the next area of resistance is this right here. If we can go ahead and clear the 124.05s, great, splendid, superb. And looks like so far we are. I need about 30-40 more cents to go ahead and take care of this trade right here. It's about, come on, just go.
Yeah,
just go.
And from daily charts, a close above 125 for me looks nice on Meta if it closes up there. SPY starting to come back a little bit.
Oh, beat it's been the 380s held, and it's just been a nice little move to the upside. We are breaking the resistance that we talked about earlier, their second one, and now we go ahead and see if we close above that and if we make it towards the third one that we talked about. But see, Chad, this is where I get a little bit impatient, where I'm like, I'm just gonna take the trade here. I'm not gonna wait. I'm just gonna take the trade here. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go ahead and take the trade here. Gonna go ahead and close it out. I'm not going to wait for 15 more bucks. Meta went ahead and won money on that. Something that I do want to point out, again, what I'll try to do is I'll chart tonight so I can show you guys and gals tomorrow about my trading. Obviously, I'm still red on the day. But something that you'll notice is that I try to go and have my profits be bigger than my losses, right? So my losses may be like 30 bucks, 40 bucks, 50 bucks today. But it's like I'm looking for my gains to be 50 bucks, 60 bucks, 70 bucks is what we got here. My options are still open. Matter of fact, here I'll show... Let me go ahead and share this screen here. Where's my window? Nope, not that one. Here's this one. Let me make sure I don't have my account number up. Okay, there we go. So this is the trade on the Meta options that I told you guys that I was taking along with the trade, where, I get to chart the options like I do my stocks, if you will, right? So we've still got we got maybe about 10 cents to go before I can go ahead and close this one out. But someone mentioned, I wish TradingView had this for TradeStation. Me too. This would be really cool to have on TradeStation or TradingView, but unfortunately it doesn't. So again, just gonna go ahead and close out right there on that trade. So we're good. We're done with Facebook. We made money on the day. So I'm happy to move along with that. Let's see what SPY's doing. Yep, quite above it. Let's see if it can go red to green again. Did it go ahead and take 20? Oh, and look at how it just got rejected and smacked out of that 20. Yeah, no, I wouldn't either, Crow. I would not either.
All right, we'll see what else is going on right now. SPY is trying to come back. We'll see if it rejects the VWAP. VWAP around, I have it 382.89s. So look for that maybe to be kind of the VWAP rejection area. That's what I'll be looking for. 383 is an important level to recover if you can recover it, but we'll see if we actually get that recovery or not. And what do you know it? 1030 type of bottoming action. When the day traders go, the market's starting to come back a lot of the times, right? A lot of the day traders stay for the first hour of the market and then they start disappearing. Well, market's starting to come back. Could that have been the washout of retail institution picking it up? Well, wait and find out. And of course, you guys can find out with all our shows throughout the day. We got Benzinga Live. That will be coming up next. That's at 11:30. Then 1 p.m. Eastern, you guys get Stock Market Movers. Then after that, 3:30 at the close. Don't miss it. Joel Alconen and I will get into the market. What was green? What was red? Find out all on at the close.
When are you wrapping up?
Probably right around now.
Right,
no, the biggest thing is, the biggest thing is if I was going to put on some education content here, but I'm going to go ahead and probably just wrap us up here, team. We're going to get you guys over to Benzinga Live. They'll be coming up next. Zunaid, I'll let you wrap up here. Anything you want to go ahead and say? Any last comments before we get out of here?
Yeah, happy New Year. Let's all learn together. Let's all grow together. If you have any questions, my Twitter is right there. You can feel free to @ me on Twitter. You don't have to DM me if unless you're asking something personal. But if you want, just @ me. Ask your questions. I think later on tonight, I set aside time to answer all your questions. Do my journaling. Be very transparent on my trading and whatnot, because it helps me be accountable more than anything. But yeah, appreciate you guys joining us, and we'll be back again tomorrow doing it all over again.
All right, you guys give my man the follow, right? I want to see some follow. I want my man coming back tomorrow and telling me he got 300 follows. Come on. Phoenix Trading X.
Oh man.
Don't miss it. Give my boy the Hoodie Trader.
That's what I should have made my handle. That's what I should have made it. The Hoodie Trader.
You like that one, right?
There
you go.
That's solid.
All right, my friend. You have a good one. We'll see you next time. All right, I'm going to wrap up here. Get you guys over to Benzinga Live. That'll be next. What will AB be talking about on Benzinga Live? Will Elon sell more Tesla? Oh, he's going Elon with you guys. You guys know Benzinga Live is all about deep discussions. Come on in and join in on the discussion as AB leads you through some Elon talk. We'll see what happens in the market. We'll be able to bounce back. I will see you guys in a little bit at 1 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. I'll get some experts on. We'll take a look about what's going on into the market. Take a deeper dive into what really the January effect truly means. Find out some statistical data. What studies have been done? All on Stock Market Movers, 1 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, at the close later. We'll see you next time, team. Hope you guys enjoyed all the action today. And please hit the comments after. Let us know. What do you want to see more of or less of? As you guys know, I'm taking my first swing on the day, which is Duke. We'll see how that turns out. To the short side, I end up finding out. Is it the dark side? Or will we get a little bit of the January effect rally towards the close? Find out, team. Stick around right here on Benzinga. You don't got to go anywhere. We got it all for you right here.